Hello, good evening, good afternoon. So I think people have already started taking their year break. There is, I think, very few people are joining here also on Zoom, but we are also streaming on our platforms. This particular LinkedIn, YouTube, as well as Twitter. So thank you everyone for joining this master class. This is a special master class that we are doing. Initially, in the morning, we had a session that we did wherein we were talking about MCP. We introduced MCP and a lot of questions that were coming in regarding why do we need MCP? Why can't we do it using, basic AI tools and all those concepts that are there? So I can see a lot of familiar faces on LinkedIn. Thank you, Naman, Dean, Harshita, Maheshwari, Vidhi, Suraj is on our Zoom call, and Alex. Every one of you, thanks a lot for being part of this initiative. It's encouraging for people to be there on the live call so that we are able to take it further. So now coming to, can anyone tell me what is the full form of MCP in the comments? And you want me to summarize what is an MCP before we go ahead and discuss about our topic of today about comparing everything? Thank you, Ahmed, for confirming. Thanks a lot, Ahmed, for confirming. This is something called as a model context protocol. And before I go into the little bit background about why MCP and everything, we will just try to show you once we'll go through one presentation. And before that, also a few ground rules for people who are new to this community and who are watching us on the social media platform. There are some ground rules that I want every one of you to know. Even though this session is streamed live, but what we are going to do is we are going to have the questions on the Slido. The team will be sharing the Slido link in all the platforms that are there, and you can ask your questions there. I will be able to answer it there. If you have any questions on the comments, please put it with a question mark if you have any questions, and please keep engaging on the platform so that we will be able to take it further and take the conversation. So let me quickly share my screen and talk about this very important topic about this. A lot of people are talking about MCP, as I was telling you, some of the ground rules. Uh, Please keep your questions coming in. Please stick to the whole session. This call, you are some of you who are streaming on our social media and looking at the call. It is this call you can attend, but there will be no recordings and no screenshot, no slides that are there. So if you feel any slides are relevant, you can take a screenshot, but only use it for academic purposes. And that is one request that I want to do. So question and answer, please keep it coming on the Slido as I mentioned. So now talking about this concept about when we understand how are we moving away from these AI chatbots to these agentic systems. MCP is not something that is working in silos. So before we even talk about MCP today, I just want to take 5 minutes or 10 minutes background about what are the other things that you need to know before we even talk about MCP. A lot of people in our AI residency, in our AI guild and all our communities ask us, Mohammed, why don't you talk a lot about MCP? So when we talk about MCP, we need to give a lot of background about the different things that are there about this context before we even use MCP. You don't need to use MCP for everything. And as I told in the morning, MCP is only used where you have more connections that are there. Some of you are asking me on LinkedIn, where is the Slido link? So just give me 1 second. Let me put the Slido link on the LinkedIn platform so that all of you can have access to this as well as I speak and ask your questions there. Just give me 1 second. So there will be some lag on your LinkedIn, but please be patient and we will be taking all your questions that are there. So yes, thank you for confirming. Ahmad, yes, you can get the link here. Put your questions. I will be taking the Q&As. I'll be having the Q&As. In 20 minutes, I'll be having two Q&A rounds. So first, in 20 minutes, we will be doing one Q&A round. Ask questions that are relevant to today's topic. And by the way, this is not a standalone topic. This is a fifth in series of agentic AI sessions that we are doing. And if you are attending today's session for the first time, then you might not be able to get information about a lot of things. So you need to get into our AI residency and AI guild recordings and look at the different concepts, because this is not something that is a standalone. If you don't understand agentic AI systems, LangChain, LangGraph, this session will be a little bit new to you, but don't worry, stick on to it. I will try to answer as much question as possible. So I put the link on the chat and you can ask your questions there and take it further. So now coming back to today's topic about the agentic system. When do we need to use agentic system? All of you know that agentic systems are important, but what are the steps that you need to do? Because LLMs are not enough. We all saw that in our last master class, that it is like a brain in the jar. It does not have eyes and hands to understand what are the things that it needs to look at. So now we come to this topic about this LLMs. We all know an LLM is what? End of the day, anyone wants to tell me what is the full form of an LLM? Thanks, Ahmed. Thank you for confirming. LLM is a large language model. And as you say, it is a language, right? Language. So it is a text. So fundamentally, it is just a text generator. How does it make the jump from predicting the next word to actually booking a meeting for you, analyzing a spreadsheet, or safely executing a financial transaction? This is something that we want to see, how to take our LLM so that it is able to do more powerful things. And this is a terminology that we all have heard about called orchestration. This is a very important topic, and this is one of the base of every multi-agentic system. Even MCP uses some of these concepts to take it further, right? It is able to take this orchestration layer and start doing things. So first thing is it understands how you can, which tool we need to use to act. Should I take Google search? Should I take weather API? Should I take some other API? So this is something that an orchestration does. So in brief, what is an orchestration? It is not about just building bigger LLMs. Gone are the days when you see that there are bigger LLMs, GPT 5.2 and all these. The LLMs are the same size, but how it is working intelligently is something that is very important, right? And now coming to the tools to act, the memory to remember, and the logical plan that is there. So this is something that we need to understand. Why does not the LLM able to answer properly? But because it does not have a proper memory, proper recap, proper thing that it needs to learn, understand, and summarize. And then we have logic to plan. It does not have the planning steps that it needs to, like the reasoning model that is there. What are the things? I'm sure if you are using the new GPT 5.2 thinking model, you will see it is thinking. In that thinking, there is a thought, observation, and action. So this is what we do in the orchestration layer. And this is the first step that we have to understand. It is a combination of a tool, memory, and logical steps that are there. So now this is the ladder of the autonomy. So end of the day, when we talk about MCP, it is on the top. If you can see the ladder of autonomy, there is just not one way to do this orchestration. This orchestration that I discussed can be done in various different ways that are there. And we have discussed multiple things in our workshops in the last few sessions. So there is just not one way. First step, that first rung, this is called ladder. And you need to, like people directly jump into MCP architecture without even understanding what is a basic tool calling and single agent, multi-agent. So we need to go step by step the ladder and understand what happens first. Because if you don't understand basic tool calling, it is an update. Then that is the foundation for single agent systems to work on. Some of the issues that basic tool agents were not solving. That is the reason why we had single agent system. Similarly, multi-agent and now MCP architecture. And in the morning session, if you remember, when I showed you 10 into 5, if you guys remember, there were 50 connections and 10 apps. 10 apps and 50 connections. So we had 500 unique combinations of connections. And this was very complicated for it to manage. That's the reason why people moved to the MCP architecture. So these are the things that you remember. So if you don't understand basic tool calling, single agent system, multi-agent system, then MCP architecture will not help you much. For most of the use cases, even you can use multi-agent systems or single agent systems. That also does most of our work. Now we want to get into understanding of all these different rungs that are there. So when I call rung, if you understand, this is the ladder and this is the first rung of the ladder. So we will go step by step and summarize before we go to MCP architecture. And a lot of students and a lot of workshops that I do, they directly wanted to jump into MCP architecture. So we will discuss about that. Don't worry. But first you need to understand why MCP came and what are the different rungs. So the first rung is the basic tool calling. And we have done multiple workshops on this basic tool calling. One of the major examples is you connect your LLM. Like suppose you want to ask to the LLM right now, just the LLM. What is the current weather of UAE, Dubai as of today, as of now? So can you guys tell me in the chat and in all the social media that we are listening, will LLM be able to answer if I ask what is the current temperature of Dubai? Thanks a lot, Ahmad, for confirming. It will not answer because there is one of the major reasons is because there is a knowledge cutoff. So everyone is clear about that. The LLM will not be able to answer. Right now, the chat GPT that you are using is not just an LLM. All of you understand the chat GPT that you're using. You can go all and try when you ask this question, what is the current weather of Dubai now? It is not going to answer from the LLM. It is going to answer from where? Can anyone tell me? In the chat GPT, if you go and ask this question, from where is it going to answer? Thanks a lot, Ahmed, for confirming. It is going to answer from the Google search or from the Open Weather API. It is LLM does not know the current weather because it has a knowledge cutoff. So this is the basic function calling is where you connect your LLM to this weather API. So when a person is asking a question, what is the current weather? It picks up that information that this particular person is asking the temperature of Dubai as of now. It sends that particular location to the weather API. The weather API returns a JSON format with all the details that are there. And then you get the answer that the current temperature in Dubai is 19.5 degrees centigrade. And then it tells us to the human. So this is a very basic tool planning. There is no memory, there is no planning, just a very simple action depending upon the user's question. Just put one if everyone is clear with this particular thing. Thanks a lot, Ahmad. Thanks a lot for all the engagement. So if you guys are engaging on the chat, it will be amazing so that I know all of you are listening to us. Now, the second step is the single agent system. This is a very simple use case. One AI agent is there. There is a whole architecture, as you can see. The one AI agent is there. It is given a whole toolkit. It is given memory, it has given their logic and the data access that is there. And this particular thing handles a full multi-step process from start to finish. But end of the day, there is only one single agent that is connected to the memory, that is connected to the data, and it has multiple tool access. A lot of people confuse single agent system by as a multi-agent system by just thinking that it has access to so many tools. Let it be. One agent can have access to 100 tools, but end of the day, there is only one agent, one LLM that is the centerpiece that is trying to work and connect everything together. This is good for predictable jobs for small use cases like customer support bot that can't just answer questions but also access the booking system to reschedule your appointment in just one conversation. It very specific use cases, simple use cases. Single agent systems does a wonderful job. You don't want to complicate it with MCP and all the multi-agent stuff. One agent, good enough for one task. As you can see, this has been a very good system for all the POCs that many of you are building. This particular single agent system, you should always start with it. It will solve that business problem. And someone was asking, right, in the morning, if you guys remember, Suraj, Adin, and everyone, that when should we use MCP? I tell them you don't even need to talk about MCP to the business. Ask the business, what is your business problem? You as an engineer understands that business problem, and tries to find out the most simplest solution. You don't need to sell him MCP architecture for when a single agent or a function calling can do his task. Gone are the days where you complicate the business users and try to get more money out of it. That will not work. Simple systems are cheaper, faster, and more effective. And that is what businesses want. If one POC is giving success, then you will get more work and more projects. So that is what I feel. Don't just go. And I had a client last week. He said, Mohammed, I want to integrate MCP. I just asked him this question, why? He said that my competition is doing it. I heard every one of them doing it. I also want to do it. I said, why? I said, why you want to implement MCP? Do you even understand MCP? Do you even understand why do we need it? Right. Then I asked him multiple times. Then he told me very politely, I asked him, tell me your business problem. I will tell you if MCP is required or not. Most of the cases, as I heard him, he just wanted to automate a simple use case like this. He wanted to have a customer support because he was working, he has a team who was handling the customer support till 6 o'clock Dubai time. After that, he needed someone to also answer some of the very common queries and questions that are there. So he wanted to connect his database with a specific agent and answer some simple FAQs and also book an appointment. Suppose the bot is not able to answer the question, so just schedule a call with the customer support the next day early morning, or arrange a WhatsApp message to that agent, human agent, to solve the problem. So for this simple use case, MCP was not required. So we sat down and I designed a plan, and then I tried to help him in getting this done through single agent system, which was deployed faster. And they were happy with this. And now we are working for more complex projects. So this is what I request to every one of you who listening to the call. Always ask the customer why. What is the business problem? Then you don't need to confuse them by MCP, multi-agent system, crew AI, LangChain, A2A. Those are the things for engineers to figure out what is the best way to use it. Now coming to the third rung is the multi-agent system. This is where you are doing some complex task. Like suppose you want to do a research, you are writing a research article, very formal research article that has to go to the internet, do all the research, get all the information out, do complete step-by-step analysis, get that, and then have a uh, system who takes all this information and writes a professional article that is there with all the scientific journalism rules that are there, and then finally edit it and create a very good format of it. So here for this particular complex task, we see that there are three major work that is getting involved. So here we have a multi-agent systems that does the first work. The output of the first work is the input of the second agent, and the input of the third agent is the output from the second agent. So this is how we design a multi-agentic system, which are multiple agents have multiple tools, multiple LLMs, but all of them are syncing together through this orchestration and then taking the step forward. So this is the third system that is there. This is something that is used a lot where there is a complex task which can be done by multiple agents. Now, someone I will ask me in the last session, Mohammed, for this use case, why can't we use single agent system? Yes, you can use single agent system for this use case also. But when you want this particular case where you have three different roles, one is of the person who's researching, writing, and communicating or editing, you need to think about creating three different personas. If you have three different personas, the work that they will do becomes better. I tell them, do you think a generalist is a better or a specialist? A generalist can do 80% of the work very well, but if you want 99% good result, very specific result, very customized persona of that LLM to or agent to do that work, then you think about this system. But both single agent can also do the work, but the quality of this multi-agent for these use cases where it is complex and there are a lot of personas, this is helpful. So you need to decide. There is no right or wrong answer here. As an engineer, you need to defend and decide what you want to do. And the third rung is the MCP, which I am going to talk about in 5 minutes. MCP is the third rung, which is from whatever we discussed in the multi-agent and everything. This is a system that combines the different callings that are there to different tools and puts it together. And this is something that is we discussed in the morning session as well, that if there is an N into M integration problem, like this one we discussed, let me just open the slide. This issue where there is multiple uh, N into M. So there are 10 AI applications, 50 data sources. To It's very confusing. Every engineer needs to understand 500 unique connections, look at everything, look at all the accesses. To solve this huge problem, we had MCP introduced. And simply what is MCP doing? It is creating a simple protocol. And I've discussed a lot in this, but just to summarize for all of you in this slide, what is an MCP doing? It is a modular system that is built from the ground up for real long-term autonomy. And whatever we discuss, it is trying to solve this in a much better way. So suppose you have lot of systems, lot of tools that are there, which you need to control, and you have to have a proper design. And now coming to the adoption of MCP, and I'm talking to a lot of enterprises, people still don't trust MCP because it is still not a proven system, because you are giving the whole control of your database, live database, and your systems to this. And suppose right now, if right now in this connection that I showed you, if one connection goes wrong, one connection is compromised, then only that system gets affected. But if someone compromises the MCP, then your all your systems get compromised, and that's a huge risk for enterprise companies. And that is what, when I talk to enterprise companies, they tell Mohammed, let's wait and see about different company use cases, how they are coping up with this security risk that is there regarding centralized MCP that controls everything. And it's a huge risk, even though MCP is telling that it is very secure, it is very safe. But end of the day, you know how the world of hackers and these type of systems are vulnerabilities are increasing for us to take. I'm getting a lot of questions on the Zoom on the LinkedIn regarding the slides and the recordings. So just let me take a 5 minutes Q&A break. I'm getting a lot of pings, so let me just take a 5 minutes Q&A break. So as I requested, please put your questions on the Slido. For people who just joined, I can see a lot of familiar faces on LinkedIn. Thank you all for joining. Thank you, Naman, Ahmad, Dean, Harshita, Maheshwari. Regarding the slides, as I told you, the slides you can take a screenshot. We will not these sessions that we are doing are part of our AI residency program. This is our flagship program that we run, and are just giving. We are opening it for the community to come and to be part of this and learn with each other. And for recordings, as I told you. Yes, so please put your questions here, everyone. And if you have anything, yeah, I'm getting a lot of questions regarding the slides. Again, as I mentioned you, the slides are part of this program, and the recording will also be available in our AI Guild community as well. And you can take a look. Slides will be part of the AI residency, so I'll only be putting the slides on the LMS platform that is there. But as a AI Guild member, most of you are joining this call on Zoom, and you will also be getting access to the recording. Slides on everything is a part of the LMS platform for our residents that are there. In our residents, AI residents. Now, someone is asking me, what is AI residency? How many of you know what is an AI residency here? Just can you just put a one if you know about what is an AI residency? So AI residency, yes, thank you for confirming, Ahmed. Thanks, you are a part of this session for some time, so you know about this. Now, coming to AI Guild, yes, AI Guild and AI Residency are slightly different. And let me just share my screen to all of you, and then we can take it further. Please keep your questions coming in the Slido, and then I will just take the questions. So regarding Ahmed, regarding this question about AI residency, this is our AI residency. So this is a cohort-based program. Like we are doing this live cohort. This is actually not a live cohort. This is a master class that I am opening up for the community just to feel how I have the workshops and programs in our community. Now the recording of these things, we are giving also access to our AI Guild members. So people who are our AI Guild members, like I think some of you are part of the AI Guild member, you can get access to the recording. But now coming to this program, what is this program? Residency. This is connected to our LMS platform. What is an LMS platform? Learning Management System platform that is there. So if you sign up to the LMS platform, after you become a member of this, you will get a sign in like this. Then if you sign in, you will have everything. So right now, this eighth cohort is going on. As of today, the eighth cohort is going on, and we are interviewing for the uh, ninth cohort that is starting on January 7th. So now some of you asked about the slides. Like suppose this is the workshop that we have done. The recording of this will be updated in the workshop here. And then you will be looking at something like this. Can you see downloadable files? This will be your all the PDFs, slides, and everything that is getting recorded will be available for the AI residents, AI builders, and all the people who are part of the academy. This is our residency. Not only you get 20 live masterclasses, you get workshops, you get access to everything for next 1 year. Now, AI Guild is something that is different. AI Guild is a community that is for a small fee. You get access to join these live calls and also the recording of some of the weekly workshops that are there. So if you go here, if you click product, like some of you have joined recently, click product and go and see the different things in the digital file. So you can see these are essential programming languages that are there. Today's recording is going to be updated by tomorrow or Monday. It is going to be updated here. The edited recording will be put here. So right now you can see 109 items are there, but here slides will not be put, only the recording will be put. As I told you, the slides, you can take screenshots. We are only putting the screenshots there in our residency, because this is a part of the residency, this masterclass that we are doing. But we are giving you a recording here just to get a feel and learn about these topics. So we do that. And there are no masterclasses here, only the workshops and the recordings like this that we are doing. We try to put it here. And agentic AI, everything that you want, you will get it. More than 40 plus courses and more than 450 plus hours of recording is here. And this is something that I request all of you to spend some time and look at it and then take it further. Now, some question is coming about when should I use MCP? As I told you, when you have more than 5 or 6 tools or agents, and which is very confusing, that you cannot handle in multi AI agent or crew AI, then think about MCP. Don't start MCP just because someone told you that MCP is cool. It is very good for learning. I understand. Today you can do this workshop. You at least know how to do it. But for clients, please don't do it, because it is not secure. And as I told you, it is, if one issue happens, one compromise happens, then this whole project and whole data source will be compromised. So please take little bit step back right now. But for learning, you can start using it, you can play around with it. But for companies, I tell, if you have more than 6 tools, if you feel that crew AI multi-agents cannot handle it, you really need an MCP, then please go for MCP. Otherwise, what I showed you in multi-agents, please use that, because you don't need to be more and more complication that is there. So I'll just repeat: basic tool calling, single agent, and base. Can you guys see my screen? Just put a 1 if you can see my screen, everyone. Amazing. Thanks a lot for confirming. So now we have on the top, we have a MCP architecture. So now let us understand, we all discussed about basic tools, single, multi-agent, MC. Now how to do all these things, right? How to go through these 4 rungs that are there. And for that, let us take this simple analogy, the orchestra conductor. So the conductor does not, if you know the orchestra, the LLM, the person who sits in just think about a musical orchestra that is there. The conductor does not play the violin. They just cue the violin section at the right moment. This separation of the role is the key. So this orchestration conductor, he does not actually go and do the work. He tells, please, this LLM, you do the work. This LLM, you do the work. you go and get information from this API, you go and take things from there. This is what that LLM does. It actually does not do a specific thing. It tells us to do specific task and specific work, and that is what we have to understand. Now, one more example, just think one more analogy of this whole orchestration. What I'm discussing is, think about a factory assembly line. Factory assembly line is there. This highlights how the architecture ensures the components perform their job in correct sequential order. Suppose there is station 1 that retrieves the data, station 2 analyzes the data, station 3 generates the report, and the LLM is like the factory assembly line head who makes sure that these things happen. So LLM plays a very, very key factor. And now coming to the frameworks. Today, if you guys remember, that was one question about multi-agent framework, and the answer was AutoGen. So these are the top three frameworks that are right now available in the market, the frameworks that are behind the agents, and you don't need to start from the scratch, right? A lot of people think that, oh, Mohammed, we have to write the code completely from scratch. No, that is not the case. There are these amazing frameworks that are there. How many of you have heard about this framework? Just put uh, LAC if you have heard about LangChain, AutoGen, or Crew, so I get an idea. Whatever, if you have heard about all the three, put LAC. If you have heard about LangChain, put L. If you have heard about Crew AI, put C. So I get an idea. I can see a old AI resident has joined the LinkedIn call. Thanks a lot, Amit. And this is our eighth cohort that we are going, but still we see a lot of old cohort members join live calls and learn new topics. So thanks a lot, Amit, and all for confirming. So most of you have heard about LangChain. AutoGen is something that is by Microsoft. And Crew AI is one of the most used platforms that are there, which I'm going to talk about as well. So LangChain is like a very high level control. You can highly control everything. It's like a Swiss Army knife. It gives you all the building block, but you have to design everything by yourself. So it's very, very customizable. Similarly, AutoGen is not, it is a little bit high level. You need to start connecting the components together and start developing everything. You don't need to start manually like LangChain, but you can use overall components to do that. And Crew AI is one of the most used ones. I do a lot of workshops right now on Crew AI. When in the last community workshop, I have discussed about Crew AI, and for all the AI Guild members, you can go and get access to the AI Guild thing as well, and get see what we do in Crew AI, which is a multi-agentic system that controls these three agents: the analyzer, the researcher, the writer, and the editor, and make sure that the output is orchestrated and that is done. So these are the three frameworks that are there. And now let us look at this simple example from theory to trading floor. So not only at end of the day, this is about the transactional, as I was telling in the day to day, that agents are used a lot in financial use cases. A world where accuracy, security, and compliance are non-negotiable. This is a place where AI agents have started being using. MCP not so much, but AI agents are used a lot, especially multi-agent systems, which enforce a strict separation of duties like human compliance workflows. And the benefit is it drastically cuts down the risk of error or fraud. So this is what we are seeing a lot in the finance industry that is there. And this particular thing has seen a drop of 95%. This was a actual use case that was there. And this was achieved by a wealth management firm by ensuring every piece of data comes from an authenticated policy governance. So we have seen a lot of use cases in the finance. Similarly, we are seeing the same pattern in the healthcare as well. In the healthcare, the division of labor is vital for safety. So whichever use case that you can see where you can divide labor, where you can see one use case is doing one specific thing, there multi-agent systems are used a lot. Similarly, for e-commerce also, you can see it is being used a lot. Agents integrate these real-time inventory, shipping, and review data to give actual answers. And this is one use case that I was telling yesterday as well for the energy plant. Suppose you have to procure safety gasket. So not only it is going to understand that which is the best vendor. You need to lock in, but it is going to look at the policy. When is the vendor license expiring? What is the historical vendor uh, performance? Has it delivered on time? And which is the cheapest and the most effective price? And it is going to review everything and finally send the draft in your email before it sends to the vendor. It can do directly as well, but as I told you, human in the loop always. As of now, you cannot trust any agent 100% because it is going to hallucinate. The nature of these LLMs and agents are it hallucinates. Hallucinates means it tries to answer right questions even if it does not know, because this is the nature of how these applications have been built. Now we will discuss about one important topic before we go to the code. There is a very thin line between a tool and a teammate. So a lot of us are talking about AI tools, AI help assistant asking a specific question. But when you think about creating a teammate, a co-pilot who's going to work with you, it is much, much more than that. Because in the future, all of us are going to have AI teammates or co-pilots who is going to help you in doing your task, whatever job it is. And you have to, like, he is going to be your intern. Like, as of now, if you guys have some experience, one intern is assigned to you. Right now, that intern is going to be an AI co-pilot. You need to train him. You need to give him the guidance so that he is helping you to do your work. And all of us talk about autonomous. Autonomous is something that will take time, 100% autonomous. But if you define the constraint, like in this use case that I told you, in this use case, like this tool use case that is there, which tool should I use? Which tool should I use? You are giving the autonomy to this LLM to choose in this orchestration. You have created a team of music players, violinists, drummers, and everyone. You have given the autonomy to the LLM. You go and you select which whom you want to call. How do you want to create your music? So you have given that autonomy, only that you have, but you have given a very good boundary and a condition to your bot to take it to answer it. It will not go outside this boundary. It will not go outside these data sources or LLMs. And whatever output it gives right now, you should always have a human in the loop as of now. In the future, for some very minute task like email category filtration and all those things, it is fine. But before you are sending any output to a client or you are posting anything on social media, because after that you don't have a control over it to recall it back or take it back. For those steps, you still need to have human in the loop, and because we cannot 100% trust, especially in the enterprise level that is there. Now I am getting a lot of pings on the LinkedIn about the recordings. Again, as I told you, please take screenshots of the slides, and recording will be available in AI Residency and our AI Guild platform by Monday. Focus on the learning, right? So MCP, as I will just how MCP works. Someone is asking how MCP works. I have covered this in the morning. If you guys remember, how many of you were there in the morning session, 11 o'clock session that we guys did? So let me just quickly, let me just look at the Slido link and put the Slido link again in all the platforms. Okay, so some people are asking what is the benefit of MCP? So again, I told you, think about MCP less, think about agents more, right? Think about agents more. So where can I? So someone is asking this very good question. My aim is building an AI agent. So where can I start? So as I told you, MCP is not the starting point. MCP is the end point. MCP is the end point. So as I told you, this is one question that I'm getting in the Slido. Let me so my aim is building AI agents. So where can I start? So as I told you, this is the ladder. So MCP is in the end. You don't need to use MCP even to build AI agent at all. If you want till the third step also, you can build very good professional MCPs that are there. And you don't need to, first you need to, if with, you can do this, but even if you don't understand these three things, there is no point of building an MCP. Now coming to this slide about MCP. Three things I wanted to talk about MCP, how it works. So there are two things that are there, MCP client and MCP server. You can look at the recording of 11 o'clock session. So a lot of people did not attend the session here. Can you guys put one if you attended the session, zero if you have not attended the session in the morning? I'll just take 1 minute to update this. I want to show you the code as well. So just think about it. Look at the recording. Think about it. There is a client and there is a server. The client asks what has to be done. The server gives you the detail. Like suppose you want to know what is the weather. So now you want to know what is the weather now. So now it is going to check all the servers that have been tagged to this application and figure out that I want to use the weather and then I want to give the answer. So this is what. So thank you for confirming, Ahmed. Ahmed is always there in the call. We have two Amit, Amit Jana and Amit Bajpai, Naman, Dean, Harshita. Thank you everyone for confirming and thank you for be coming to our events so that you'll be able to know more. So if Deepak, you are not there, don't worry, you can look at the recording and take it further. So now let us go to this code. I will be sharing this notebook to all the guild members and the AI residents so you can get an access to this and you can look at what we are doing. So this is a very simple MCP. As I was telling you, running an MCP used to take a lot of time 6 months back because I needed to run it in my local computer. I had to install Anthropic server, run the code on the command prompt. Big headache. I'm telling you, running MCP 6 months back was a headache. Now this notebook. I have created this amazing notebook. It took me around a lot of time to create this notebook. So if you want access to this notebook, you can, as I told you, I'll be updating it on the AI Guild and AI Residence, so you can get access to that and you can start running it. What we are trying to do here is, it's a lot of lines of code are there. I will not explain the code right now, but I will just show you a overall brief. What are the things that are there? So right now we have created multiple MCP servers. Like we have created math. Math is basically doing mathematical calculations. Can you guys see my code? Some of you are seeing it is very small. I have zoomed in now. Can you guys see? Is it better now? Just put one if you guys are able to see my code on LinkedIn. Cool. So now what we are doing here is, so as I told you, this is a good thing about MCP. I have so many clients that are there. So I have created a lot of, so I have zoomed in and my code has, let me just zoom back because when I zoom in too much, I am not able to see my code. Yeah, 189, 189. Yeah, so this is my code. Okay. So I will talk about the above code first, but first I want to show you the different clients that are there. So right now, yeah, math is a very simple thing that is doing mathematical calculations. I will show you later the code. Weather is, I have connected the weather client. So these are the servers that I have created. The first server is math. The second is weather. This particular server is running on this URL. If you can see, this is running on this URL 8001. This is running on 8002. Weather. Text is one more server where we have created it. This is running in 8002. We have hashing. This is running on 8003. We have machine stop. This is something related to today's use case, which we discussed. If any problem is there, I want to stop the machine. So this is running on MC4. So these are the four things that are running. So I am zooming out because it is very tough for me to control. And then you can look at it. So now what we are doing is, let me just show you how we are defining these servers. So in the top, if you see, this is the code where we are defining these tools that are there. So this code looks a little bit complicated, but what it is doing is it is defining the tools. So first tool, it is defining the math server. The math server, this is the text server. This is the hashing server. It is hashing server, and this is the most important thing, the machine stop thing. The machine stop is basically if there is any error code that is there. So for today's use case that we have discussed, we have different machines. We have different error codes. Like for overheating, we have an error code called error overheat. And for the temperature, last reading, we have this particular temperature. We have some maintenance history here. So we have simulated a tool for our machine use case that is there. And if any problem is coming regarding the machine ID, machine not found, and regarding any incident issue, we get some incident ID not found. So this is something that we have created for our machine use case that is there. Now once we have to run this demo of all the questions of all the servers, what we do is right now we are using the LLM called OpenAI GPT 4.1 for orchestrating these questions. So now we have tried to ask simple questions. Like first question we asked this. Can anyone tell me in the chat, if I ask this question, which MCP server is going to get called? If I ask this question, what's 20 plus 5 into 10? Yes, thank you, Ahmed, for confirming the math server is going to get called here. And when I run this code, you will see this. Now this next question is, this is the, what is the weather in Tokyo? When I ask this question, which MCP server is going to get called now? So in the same code, I'm going to try do testing with 5 or 6 options. And you will see every time in the same application, I ask 5 different questions. Every time I ask a different question, a different MCP gets called and a different answer comes, right? So if I ask this question, what is the weather in Tokyo now? Which MCP will be called? Thank you, Ahmad, for confirming. It will be the weather MCP will be called here. And now if I ask this question, reverse the phrase hello world and tell me how many words are there. For this particular use case, the text server will get called, which we have just defined, which does the text implementation and check that is there. And this code basically what it is doing, it is doing the tracing of what are the different steps that are happening for us to look at the output. Then we have the hashing agent. So for this, give me the SHA-256 hash of hello to MCP world. So if you know nowadays, for if you are sending any message or any term, you need to do hashing. So this is the hashing tool that we have created to do our task. So when I ask this question, which MCP server is going to get called, and anyone? Correct. Yes, the hashing server. So all the servers that I'm telling is going to get called here. So in the first one, math, second weather, third text, fourth hashing. Now for the fifth question, this one. Machine, like this is like an engineer who's asking in the floor. Machine M01 has just stopped. What happened? What it is current status and error code? What should we do? Basically, this is an engineer asking this question on the floor. So this is connected to the tool that I just created on the top. It is going to look at this error code. Like if you see this code here, it is going to look at this error code M0101. It is going to understand that the issue is overheating, and this is the solution of this is replace the faulty cooling fan. But as a human, you don't know all the error code. There are thousands of error codes, and every error code has a different solution, but this agent will help you according to that. So this is my question that I ask and the answer that you will get. So now we run all this code. So we have given 5 different questions to this particular MCP setup, MCP architecture, the MCP client and the MCP server. In this 279 lines of code, I have put everything together. And now once we run this, now you can see what all is happening. So let us go through it step by step, and let me just tell you. So right now, when I run this code, you can see the MCP servers are getting started. All the MCP servers are now up and running. 002, 003, 004, and all it checks every connection. It gives me a 200 OK. Can anyone tell me what does 200 OK mean? Yes, 200 OK means the server is giving positive response and it is working. That is great. So now to this MCP server, we have so many tools that are getting added. Add. So server is different. Like math server has add and multiply. A get current weather tool is attached to the math server. Reverse string and count word is attached to the text MCP generate text hash is attached to the correct to the hashing, and these three are attached to the amazing. You guys are attentive. That is really, really thankful to the last one. That is the system one. The last one that is the this particular MCP, the machine stop MCP. So these are the three tools that are attached to the MCP. Now, when I this is it is checking everything. This is my first question that I ask for this particular thing. The if you see this calculation, this is the answer. Now I want to look at the full trace. What is the meaning of full message trace? It shows the step of how everything is working. So suppose now I ask this question. So it is going to understand, the AI is going to understand that we need to use a tool first addition. It is going to use this tool addition. So 20 plus 5 is how much? Anyone? Everyone? 20 plus 5, this is the first step that the agent does using the tool add. As all of you know, LLMs cannot add, cannot subtract. They don't have the math capability. So they are using an external tool that we have created. Thank you, Ahmed, for confirming 25. So now we take 25, and then next time, next tool, what happens? Then they understand that they need to do a multiplication. So then what happens? 25 into 10 is how much? Amazing, amazing. So 250. So now you saw it did a math calculation and it gave us the output. Now the next question that is there. What is the current weather of Tokyo? It gives us an answer. But now we want to look at the full message trace. What is the complete message trace of this for us to understand how is MCP working here? Everything is in just one code. Huh? We have ran one code. Everything has happened parallelly. So it has to, this is the tool that it needs to catch, get current weather. This is the JSON file that it gets as an output. Then the AI takes this JSON file and makes it into a very good English language. Second server done. Now third one. It is asking about hello world. If you remember the first question, can you please reverse hello world, and can you count how many words are there in this phrase hello world? So for this is the answer. But now going to the message tracing, all of you can see this message tracing has happened. First, it is calling this tool called reverse string. Reverse string is doing its work here. And then the second tool, count word, it is doing its work here. And then we get both the answers here in a very LLM type of answer. Like the reverse phrase is hello world and the original phrase. Now this is done. Now the second question is regarding the hashing answer. Same thing is happening. As I told you, the tool is called, the tool is giving the answer. Now the last one for the machine stop, this is the real use case. Till now we have just discussing you the functionalities of what we can do with different tools, but this is a real use case. A engineer is going to ask this question. What is the situation with 1001? This is the whole answer that we get. This is the whole answer that we get: current status, error code, and historical incident. But for this, how it is working? So what should be done? This is the question that we ask. Then the human, then this is this is the full output that the AI is giving. But how is it giving this output? Once I ask this question, this particular tool is getting called. Then it is giving us a JSON output from the file. Then this tool is called. It is basically, first it is understanding the current health. Then it is understanding, as I was telling you in the morning, if you remember guys, some of you who were there in the morning. So it is doing these steps. So first it is understanding what is the current status of the ticket. Second, it is understanding from the open ticket, what are the similar. So do you have any similar cases that you have looked at? So they have taken that case ID and looked at similar cases, and then they have suggested what has to be done. So whatever three things that I told you in the morning, those three things we are doing here. First, we are getting the correct status, then we are searching the incident, and then we are creating a ticket. Emergency ticket, we are creating it. So the AI finally gives us this answer step by step. And after all the questions are answered, then you can see all the text, all the MCP servers stopped. Step by step, all the MCP servers stopped. And then we have this whole thing. So I've given in this notebook. Once you get access, you will be able to understand what is happening and you can take it and run it. So now I will just take a pause. If there are any questions on the Slido, we'll be able to take it. Tomorrow we have our career talk at 12 o'clock. Please join that. We will discuss about very important topic about how you can build your career as of now by learning these concepts and building a portfolio that is there. So now I'm coming on Slido. There are questions about benefits of MCP. Again, when you have multiple tools, like today I showed you 5 different servers, 8 different tools. Now this code is managing everything for us together. So we asked 5 questions. 5 questions gave different answers from different servers that are there. So this is it. Let me just again, the slides will be available in AI Residency. Recording will be updated in our AI Guild as well as our AI Residency, where you'll get both. And thank you everyone for being an amazing audience. If there are any more questions, as I told you, please put it on the Slido. Join our live calls and keep learning. And I hope today's session you have benefited from it. You have gone through the different details. The people who are there who have registered for this call on the Zoom, I'll be sharing. I'll be uploading this. Let me quickly share with all of you this notebook that I have discussed by tomorrow or by Monday. Uh, Mostly I will ask the team to do because tomorrow there is off for them, but it is going to be updated here. If you go to our AI guild, so people who are new here, the recording will be uploaded here and the link will be there in the description of today's notebook as well. So you can go through the recording, you can run this code, you can tweak this code, you can experiment with this and then take your learning further. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the call today. If there are no more questions, we will meet tomorrow and keep your questions on the Slido. I am getting a lot of pings on LinkedIn again for the slides. Please, I request you, these sessions we are doing, we want more people to join live, but as I told you, for recordings, we need to pay for the server space and everything. So we have to have a small fee, and AI Guild is very uh, convenient. For a small fee, you get access to so much content. And if you're a little bit serious about your career and about yourself, then that investment you can do. If not, you are free to join the live calls, interact with me every month. Every week we do 3 free calls in the community. But some of the calls are only part of the AI residents and the AI Guild community. So thanks a lot for being part of this specific thing. And I am thank you for all the amazing audience on a Saturday on the year end listening to me. The number of people who joined are comparatively less because many of you are already on the holiday break. But whoever have joined, thanks a lot for being this part of this. And again, the notebook link will be provided to our AI Guild community members only. And if you are not an AI Guild member, I am putting this link again on the chat. You can become that member. And again, this is everyone is just behind notebook and behind the recording. No one wants to have an interactive session, but anyways, have a great day, everyone, and see you in the next community event. Bye bye.